I didn't know much about the anime Spy Family by the time I decided to give it a try and started watching it. The only thing I knew about it was it had a cute girl with pink hair and there were tons of people who were enjoying it. And I couldn't be more grateful for conceding to my curiosity and getting into Spy Family, because it is a great and funny story. So with that being said, let's start in parts by talking about each character individually. First, Yoru. Yoru is a character who at first may seem to be quite lame, a beautiful woman who is secretly an assassin. But there's just so much to this character, and most of it is due to the amazing character development she goes through the moment she joins the Forger family. Yoru is first seen with a dull look on her face, stuck in an equally dull life, working her regular job at a city hall and secretly as an assassin, behaving in a mechanical way as a result. And she continued to live like that for a very long time, although she started working as an assassin in order to provide for her younger brother after the death of their parents. And even though her brother is already a grown-up man able to provide for himself without her help, that was the only life Yoru had ever known, and she continued to live like this because she didn't know how to live in any other way. But the moment she starts living with Anya and Lloyd, her life changes completely. From simple things like coming back home to be greeted with warmth, to go out and have fun together, to deeper things like to learn to tolerate her flaws, to have more confidence in herself, and to learn how to care for each other even though they know it's all a facade, made a huge difference in her life. And thanks to that, Yoru is seen being more spontaneous and open to her emotions, giving us some of the funniest and most emotional moments throughout the anime episodes and manga chapters as a result. During those moments of family time, caring for Anya and striving to be a better mother for her and a better wife for Lloyd show how sweet, caring, and kind Yoru really is, and how all those qualities and aspects of her personality were lying underneath her dull life for all this time. And living with the Forger family was the first time all those qualities had a chance to show up. They've introduced her to a life she had never known, and that is also reflected on the way Yoru starts looking at herself. Usually female assassins are shown as sexy women who use their good looks in their favor during their missions. But with Yoru, that turns out to be quite the opposite. Not just because female assassins are usually full of malice, whereas Yoru shows a genuine innocence despite the nature of her secret job, but more importantly, Yoru has very low self-esteem and sees herself as a pariah. Her coworkers demean her and think she's weird, Yoru thinks of herself as useless, and she's constantly working hard to be normal just like other people, only to think that she is a failure as a person, as a mother, and as a wife. But instead of being criticized and scorned at like at work, Lloyd and Anya greet Yoru with open arms into their family, and this reassurance of them wanting her to belong to their family is the one thing that was missing from Yoru's life that makes her want to be a member of the Forger family so much. The feeling of love and to be loved back. This will eventually make Yoru look at the Forger family more than just a facade to carry on with her assassin job, but as a real family where she cares about others and she's cared for as well. To be with people who like her for who she is and want her to continue to be a part of their lives. Because of that, we will have some sweet and emotional scenes like when Yoru starts crying because she was just so happy seeing Lloyd and Anya like something that she had successfully cooked for the first time. Or when she's at the brink of tears when Lloyd reassures her that both him and Anya want Yoru to be part of their family when she thinks that she is not wanted anymore because of Fiona Frost. Or how fast Yoru and Anya are seen bonding with each other like a real mother and daughter, and how protective Yoru is of her because of how badly Yoru wants to be an actual good mother for her and how she genuinely cares about Anya. This genuine happiness of belonging to the Forger family reveals all those aspects of Yoru's personality, how she developed as a character and blossomed as a woman, changing the lives of Lloyd and Anya in the process, just like they changed hers. Agent Twilight, aka Lloyd Forger, is the first member of the Forger family. One of the things that caught my attention about Twilight is the selfless essence of his mindset as a spy. It may look like a contrast in comparison to his reclusive, calculus nature, only showing emotions that are convenient for his goals while concealing his real self, which are essential qualities he must keep in mind in order to survive as a spy. But when Twilight is trying to remind himself that the reason he continues to put his life on the line is for the sake of preventing people from going through the terrible ordeals he experienced as a kid because of the war, reveals an altruistic side of Twilight in his own respective way, despite the social and emotional limitations imposed upon him by the nature of his job. That is truly something to be admired in his character. But the one thing I find truly remarkable about Twilight is how noticeable it is that the Forger family is slowly sinking into him, despite knowing that all this is for the sake of his mission. It's possible to notice that whenever Twilight shares Anya and Yoru's happiness. Although he's losing his mind over learning how to raise and deal with a kid, and he feels absolutely hopeless about the success of his mission at first, The tenderness of those small family moments manages to put his mind at ease and brings the best out of him. But it's also possible to see the impacts of the Forger family on Twilight whenever he's shown feeling remorse for what his mission means to the fate of their family once his mission is completed. As I've said before, being members of the Forger family make both Yoru and Anya genuinely happy, and Twilight as Lord Forger is responsible for it. The impact he's causing in their lives, comforting Yoru, making her feel better about herself and encouraging her to be more confident, giving Anya the family she had always craved for, and some of the funniest and sweetest moments of her life as a member of this family, Twilight is definitely playing a pivotal role in changing their lives. He's purposely leading them to a life he knows can never be preserved and is fated to be over as soon as his mission to stop Donovan Desmond is over. He can't help himself but feel guilty whenever he is reminded of the fate of the Forger family before such innocent happiness from the ones he's deceiving every day. Because it's clear how fond of Yoru and Anya Twilight is becoming, to the point of unawarely letting his emotions get in the way for their sake. He instantly proceeds to defend Yoru during the application interview at Eden Academy. He gets so mad at one of the interviewers for bringing Anya to tears to the point of destroying a piece of furniture out of rage. And he feels remorse for doubting Yoru's honesty. Those are some examples of his emotions seeping beneath his disguise, like noticed by his fellow agent Fiona Frost later on in the story. Whether she noticed that under the influence of jealousy or not, it's undeniable that the Forger family has touched Twilight to the point of going against his training as a spy and letting his emotions speak louder because of them. This is completely different from when we first see Twilight on a mission. Episode 1 barely begins and we already see him doing one of the most usual things of his job as a spy, using someone as means to achieve his goals. He uses Karen to reach out to her father, and once his mission is over, he leaves her just like that, with no remorse and no regrets. But his mission as a head of the Forger family is the first time his feelings betray him and make him feel bad about something he had to do countless times before. And that's how the Forger family is changing him as well. Although clearly not in the same pace as Anya and Yoru, but it's clear that he's not the same person as he was before creating this family, and I can't wait to see how his story will unravel. Anya is the final character of our trio, and she's definitely the soul of the Spy family. The way the story balances the development of her character, both as an essential part to keep peace between those two countries and also as a kid, in all aspects the mindset of a child of her age entails, is simply brilliant. There are many aspects of Anya that make her fascinating and adorable, but my favorite aspect of her is absolutely how spontaneous she is. The way she says some of the silliest or most unpredictable things ever, the way she reacts to the thoughts she reads from other people's minds, or simply doing ordinary kid stuff, all that gives us some of the most hilarious and cutest moments, which makes her even cuter and likable. But also caught my attention is the development of her bonding with the Forger family. At first, she wants to be adopted by Twilight for the sake of the naive excitement to live with a spy in order to do spy stuff. But then she becomes concerned about Twilight's goals to prevent this war from happening. But although she takes Twilight's mission very seriously and does everything within her reach to help him out while concealing her powers, she still processes all that according to her childish mindset, and the way she does it is just so hilarious. But the ultimate reason why she cares about the success of Twilight's mission so much is because she doesn't want this family to come to an end. Because that's the thing about her. Anya simply loves Twilight and Yoru, and she wants to be with them forever. Despite being funny, cute, spontaneous, and adorable, Anya's deep down a hurt little girl that suffered a lot throughout her life, who never had a family and desperately looked for people who would take care of her, and she signed Twilight and Yoru the family she was craving for all this time. And the way they corresponded to the affection she has for them makes her love this family even more. They are giving her happiness and family warmth for the first time, and because she likes being with them so much, she's terrified of losing them from her life. Anya struggled with a terrible past that has left scars in her soul, and the Forger family is the medicine she needs to heal all those wounds inflicted on her. And because of that, Anya is also changing Twilight and Yoru's lives. Even though she hates studying and drives Twilight crazy with her low grades, she still brings a soft and tender side out of him. Not just because he must develop his parenting skills for the sake of pretending to be a family, but most of all because she makes Twilight sympathize with her as she reminds him of when he was an orphan kid, facing hardships because of the war and how badly he wants to prevent other kids from experiencing the same thing he went through as well. Just like Anya was the one who initially made Yoru let all her kindness, tenderness, and sweetness show up, as if she were her real mother because of how fond of Anya she was from the very beginning. Little by little, Anya is managing to bring the best out of them. And the reason this change is happening is because Anya is also giving Twilight and Yor tenderness and a family warmth for the first time in ages. Just like they are giving her the family she was looking for, Anya is also giving them a family, which is something that was abruptly taken from Twilight and Yor's lives when they were just little kids. What started as a facade so the three of them could carry on with their initial goals is gradually becoming a safe haven from the loneliness they were used to for all those years. You're turning their forger family into a home where they can feel they truly belong to and feel loved. And all that thanks to Anya, which makes me sympathize with her even more and wish for this little girl to have the happy life she deserves. Overall, I must say the anime does a great job at adapting the manga. The voice acting is superb, the animation quality is very satisfying, especially when it copies Anya's expressions just like the manga panels. The intros are funny and the songs are catchy. Honorable mention to the broken flute version of the main theme, making some scenes on the show even funnier, and the other characters also contribute in making Spy Family a great story. I must say that Spy Family is amazing, and I'm so grateful that this story exists. I highly recommend it, and I hope you'll enjoy it and have lots of fun.